Good morning. Good morning. I just came on because I wanted to know is anybody else weird like me and can just sit out and just listen to the sound of the sprinkler and not have to hear a word that anybody say or anything, just listening to the sprinkler and the birds singing, the chickens making noise. Is that weird? Good morning, Corinne. How you doing, boo? I just came on. I just thought of, maybe I'm weird. I like to listen to the sound of the water sprinkler water in the garden this morning. I don't guess I'm too weird. How you doing this morning? How's everybody doing this morning? Savannah Rodriguez. Thank you for joining. How's everybody doing this morning? I really didn't have much to talk about unless y'all had something y'all want to talk about. I was just sitting here enjoying the sound of my sprinkler, and I just thought I'd bring y'all along with me to to listen to. We can be weird together. Are you going home to take a nap? What time it is? Where you at, Corinne? You talking about taking a nap? Oh, you drove, but you drove the bus. You driving bus, right? Oh, okay. You on the same timing that we are. You just came back from doing your route. Yeah, okay, then I got you. Well, I hope your nap is very, very well. You wake up like you had a whole night of rest, girl. I really hope that. I just came out here. I don't really have anything to do in the garden today. Well, I can work in the garden bed or whatever today. But sometimes you just whatever you're doing, you sometimes just need a rest. Right now, I don't feel like I really want to do anything. I don't really feel like I want to do anything today, but child, throughout the day that could change. Well, good you received that. Something throughout the day can change, and I'll be out here struggling like I had a whole day of work planned for my own self. But right now, I just planned on just spending a couple of hours out here this morning, just watering the grass, and then I was gonna try and relax for the day. But we'll see. I've been binge watching your videos. Then I saw you were live. Well, thank you, Savannah, so much for binge watching my lives. And if you really want to know more about me, I think I have more things in my shorts that can tell you about where I come from, the kind of things that I talk about over here. Oh, it do the water sprinkler does sound kind of like the sound of cicadas. My kids done find a cicada every year. After they done came outside of the shell or whatever, they leave the shell there or whatever, and then they collect them. And sometimes they bring them inside the house and sit them on the shelf. And I scare the crap out of me when I walk past that junk because it looked like it's still like could be alive or whatever. But yeah, that's exactly what it kind of sounds like. Is that? Um, but I appreciate that, Savannah. Thank you very much. And if it's not for you, then share it with somebody who it is for. But over here, we talk about some of everything. Even though you see me in the garden and stuff like that, we'll strike up a conversation and we'll be all over the place. That's why I said I'd be trying not to name my lives or my conversations, whatever I'm gonna name them. Sometimes I do story time where I come on and I won't say anything to anybody. I just come and start telling the story, which means I'm purging at that time. I'm getting something out of my life that was there previously that I no longer want to hinder me anywhere in life. I don't want it to stop me from growing, no nothing. So I'm willing to tell it, get it out in the open, and move forward from that place. But again, thank you. I appreciate you all for being here, even the ones in the bushes. Good morning to you. I came out here this morning and I see a little of my stuff that we planted on Sunday popping through, coming through, but I ain't gonna show y'all just yet. I'm gonna let a little bit more excitement build up and then probably by Wednesday I'll be out here. Wait, that's tomorrow. Yeah, probably by tomorrow I'll be out here showing y'all what's going on with the new stuff that's growing in the garden. Cause you know we growing stuff together, and whatever we show that's happening in the garden, we applying that to our life. Meaning we growing along with the garden as it's growing. So this garden is a representation of our life. You know, over here we high class gardeners. You know where and that just means that we make sure that we grow food all the time and we make sure that we grow along with our food. You don't have to be fancy or any of that stuff as long as you're growing something, as long as you're growing. Um, and the high class part just means that we don't play with no bugs and no worms and all of that, that stuff. And we don't spray that funny stuff on our food either. Um, and that qualifies as us high class gardeners. And we don't play with snakes in real life over here. Who else loves to hear a good water sprinkling? It's for me. Watching you and your sister gives a real family feel. It's not easy to find. Oh, you know my sister too. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? There's nothing I don't want to say there's nothing spectacular about us cuz we genuinely good people, but we are people that have been through a lot of things in life and just want to come and share with others and not make them feel bad about the things that they've been through life and knowing that you actually there's a way, there's a process for you to get through any of those things. Yeah, that's my sister is like she like one of my babies that I gave birth to. You know, she is one of them that in my story that I tell about. When my mom passed away, she was one of the kids that was still underage that I finished raising. She's also a part of that story. Um, my mom was dealing with a married man and produced three children from that situation. You know, just talking about things like that that can make people feel less than because if you a product of a coming from a married man, sometimes you can be made to feel, even though you, the kid, ain't have nothing to do with the process what the grown folks was going through. Um, you as the kid, or you as one of her children, are sometimes made to feel like you're you're the scum of the earth and you're not worth um, being respected. You're not worth being loved. And we here to tell the devil is a lie. That's a lie. You deserve good just like everybody else. Everybody else does. The decisions that your parents made don't have nothing to do with who you actually come to be. And the best thing you can do is those things that your parents did and you don't like the way they did them, then you do the opposite of it. They still teaching you. You still learning a lesson from them. So that's just a little part of, you know, where we come from. But I appreciate you for watching. And if you all don't mind, the ones that are in here, hit the like button. And if you don't want to hit the like button, hit the dislike button. Hit something. Thank you very much. And if you don't mind sharing, go ahead and share. You know, but I ain't gonna bother with you too much. If you don't want to do none of those things, then just sit here and chill and listen to the sprinkles. What do any of y'all have what y'all got planned for today? I know most probably everybody's working or whatever, but what's the plans for today? What's the plan for the weekend? What y'all doing this weekend? What are you growing in your garden? You got anything growing in your garden? Name a situation what you trying to grow through in this moment. You never know who's in the room. We can all talk and, you know, help each other grow in some other kind of way. Even, over here, this is not, I tie the garden along with real life and growing in real life. And so, even in growing this stuff out here in the garden, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing here, but sometimes it's somebody right here, or there's somebody somewhere here on YouTube that can help me um, figure out the things that I need to figure out in my garden. Even though I have a nice sized garden or whatever, don't mean I know everything. A lot of stuff I be learning trial and error, just like real life. A lot of stuff we learn trial and error, or somebody comes along and let us know. That ain't the right thing to be doing. So you need to do something different. Especially if you done tried the same thing you already done tried before, and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it ain't worked for you the first 4, 5 times you did it. You know what that means. It's time for you to do something different. um, It's for me watching you and your. Okay, I read that one. I wish I had a garden. Maybe one day. I live in an apartment where over here, Savannah, we don't let you get away with it that easy because you got windows in your apartment, girl. You can plant something in your window. Plant a bean. Get a bean from out the cabinet and plant it in some sand. Put it in your window. And let me tell you why I say that. When I say it, I say it with a laugh and a big smile, but I'm so serious. If you put that bean in the window and you watch it grow and you see what you can do, watch the excitement that come on your face when you walk in there one day and in that window, that bean growing. About like them children when they go to school and everything. I don't know if you got kids or whatever, but when your kids go to school and then they start teaching them that part of, about growing something, and they come home with that one lima bean hanging out their cup, out that cup, and they be so proud of it. It worked the same way for us adults. So if you grow one thing, that one thing can lead you to grow to the next thing, and you start encouraging yourself in that way. So it don't have to be anything fancy as long as what you trying to grow is got some sort of sunlight coming to it. If you got a porch, get you some flower pots and put them on your porch. Line them, get colorful flower pots to make it look nice so it don't look like you trying to. Good morning, Miss Coffee. Get you some nice flower pots. Don't let living in an apartment be an excuse for not growing. And even if you never succeed in the growing of anything you've tried, and that means you've shifted somewhere in your life, you growing. If not in the pot, you growing in your life. You trying something different. Just, I don't know if I'm making sense. I told you I'm just out here enjoying my sprinkler this morning. This time change got me. This time got. Oh, Miss Coffee. I'm a, I see eye to eye with you on that one right there. I don't like this time either. It's so annoying. And the one thing is that's annoying is because usually by the way the sun is coming up and going down and everything, that tells me what time it is without having to look at the clock and everything. And I'm telling you, this time have me so frustrated because I be thinking it's one time, another. So now that you even mentioned this time, the other day when I said I was gonna get off of here and go and cook, I ended up staying out here longer than I was, and then by the time I went in the house, it was almost 7 o'clock, and now I'm in there rushing trying to put together dinner. So I posted that dinner that I put, making fun of my own self because, honey, going in there rushing trying to make sure everything get done and my family fed on time. That plate turned out real ugly. It wasn't that the food wasn't good. The cornbread was crumbly and everything. But I say somebody came on there and said, "What is this?" My daughter even said something about it. But you know, every now and then you have to make fun of your own self, laugh at your situation, and keep going. And he said my plate looked at bland. It did. Looks can be deceiving. Though, and I agree with him. Yeah, it do look bland. It sure do. The food blending in with the plate that almost want to disappear on me. But I don't like this time. Yeah, I like the other time. I don't even know why. Why do they play with our time like that? I never understood that. Why do they do that? Is it what they call it daylight saving? What are we doing here? They keep messing with the time. I don't know what it is about the sprinkler that I just love to hear the sound of the sprinkler. It's so like it's calming. Good morning, Gigi. Gigi the bushwasher. Thank you for coming out the bushes, then, Gigi. That's true, and I'm going to try it. Yeah, my grandmother used to have plants, but they started dying because she couldn't tend to them, much because she was busy taking care of the whole household. I understand that. I understand. All right, Sprinkler, you getting off the chain. Wet me up. Um, they said they were gonna stop. I'll be glad when they do, and I hope they stop it on the other time and not on this time. I hope. I hope they stop it. I wish I. The one thing that I need to do so that this time don't affect me is fully take my kids out of the school system. That's the only thing that make this time affect me the way that it does. And oh my god, I've done that before where I've homeschooled my kids and then I got out of it. Um and they all back in the system. Actually, I have one that's asking me to go back to doing homeschooling. I don't know if I got it right now. I don't know if I got it. Do I want to do it? Um, you know, who knows? Things getting so bad today is like you just never ever know. And right now, you all know the policy at school. They have a zero tolerance for fighting and anything like that in school. Um, well, I've never seen it this way before. See, when they send those papers home for you to sign at the beginning of the year, and it got that clause in it where it says that it's zero tolerance, like your child can't defend themselves or whatever. So if somebody hit them or anything like that, then your child basically has to stand there and take it and not hit them back for them not to get in trouble along with the person. Well, I've never been that parent, and the one thing I've never been down with, um even though I love the word, but that part turn the other cheek, honey, I ain't been able to do that yet, and I don't teach that to my kids either. Lord forgive me for it, because I know it's a part of the word. But yeah, that part of it right there, y'all gonna have to pray for me on that one. But the kids, my daughter been going through a situation with this one particular girl at school. But the funny thing is that they start sending home paperwork to see if my child want to switch schools. Man, it ain't that my daughter bothering with this girl. This girl is following her, bothering with her. But you sending me papers for my kid? to possibly go to another school because some kid is bothering her. Now I believe in protecting your kids or whatever. But the one thing that I always know is that running from a bully only gets you more bullying. So I've never been one to teach because I think when it comes down to bullies, there's a certain lesson that they need. And listen, when it comes down to other kids too, I also look at it and say, when a kid is going to school and they trying to bully somebody else and it's not working, I feel like that kid has some issues at home. And so I'm never one sided about one situation. Like I got so many different aspects on it, but I've always known that hurt when you're a hurt person, eventually you will try and do things that hurt people. And either you submit to this the work that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna become the bully, or either you decide to do something different um that work against that. Which means you decide you either gonna work for the devil or you gonna work for God. So in me, with all the things that happened, I made a choice um, to work for the good of God, not um, to play on the devil's team. So, but I look at these young kids and I think to myself, but I can't fix everybody. I can't fix everybody, not at all. So I'm understanding this girl's doing what she's doing, and it is to my kid. But I'm also thinking and praying for this little girl. Is like, what's happening in her life that this is, and they used to be really good friends. I don't know what's happening in her life that she feel like, well, this is the person that I need to come after and attack. You know, I don't have no answers, but I think for us parents, like these situations are getting with the kids and stuff be getting out of hand and everything. It's like I don't know. But anyways, I just want to touch that just a little bit. Welcome, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming through. My buckets come today. Food grade question. All right. Did you get the white ones, Miss Coffee? I remember I ordered me 10 of those food grade buckets. That's what I started some things like that, but of course, I don't store things like you do. I'm starting to learn to do that. And as a matter of fact, I told you the other day, Miss Coffee, that I don't know how to store nothing. I have never stored anything before. Then I went in the house and then I pulled some black beans out the cabinet. Last year I grew black beans and I grew black eyed peas and I absolutely stored them. So I did a little bit. It's still storing. Ain't nothing big, but I'm gonna have to learn that part from you over there to make sure I be storing the stuff in the right way. So but if I get potting soil with manure, will it stink? Nope, nope. I have a couple of I have a couple mason jars. I see them out everywhere. It's like they finna stop. Like they're everywhere in the store. We even have a stockpile in the Dollar General over here. I'm like, what? Why Dollar General got all these mason jars in here? So whenever I go in there, I grab just a couple of them because I'm not quite sure what I want to, and I've been getting rid of stuff that I have so much of this and so much of that, and so I've been in the habit of purging my house of things that I haven't used in a long time. So I'm being very cautious of bringing in some extra stuff that I may not be ready to use yet. So I'm kind of slow rolling with the yes, I'm decluttering. So I'm slow rolling with the getting mason jars and all of that stuff because then I don't want to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff and then I just have them sitting there. And maybe it'll be like the flower if I get them and sit them on the counter or something. It'll encourage me every day. um, let's get this, you know. So I don't know. We gonna see. I'm gonna get to storing things. Now, you know what I get when my potatoes grow? Um yeah, you asked me if you get potting soil with manure, will it stink? No, it ain't gonna stink. And y'all, I guess y'all think I just when I be out here playing with chicken poop that it just got all kinds of smells to it. Nope. I don't smell anything, and maybe, just maybe, I'm immune to the smell. No, I'm just joking. For real, for real. Like it doesn't. Now to me, it could be like I'm kind of immune to the smell or whatever. But whenever I use it, there is really no smell that I smell. And I'm telling you, I got a nose on me. I'm the kind of person that when stank smells come around me, somebody come around me and they musky or whatever, you can tell by the look on my face. It ain't no secret about it that I smell it. And I don't mind asking them, are you musky? And I try not to be rude with it, but you got one of them things where you gotta just certain smells just tear your nerves up or something. There ain't nothing you can do about it. It's just there. I don't know why. But yeah, no. I've bought soil from Home Depot. Actually, I buy Home Depots that whenever I go there, I buy they cheapest soil now. I used to get that Kellogg's, which is Kellogg's is a really good soil. But here lately, I've been if I go and buy any soil, I usually get the one from Home Depot. And it's in a I usually get the one that's compost with manure, or I get just a regular soil bag. But if I go and get some, I try to get for every 2 bags of the topsoil, I get 1 bag of the compost and manure, and then I mix it like that, which has been a great mix for me. And then from putting it in, I just add my chicken poop. Y'all know that's my favorite thing over here. That's what I use um to do my garden, fertilize with everything. I have never ran into a problem, and I'm not saying that you can solely do your garden with that, but I'm telling you that's what has worked for me, and that's all I use, and it's free for me because my chickens provided on the regular, so it has worked for me every single year with my garden, no questions asked. Um, and I used to go and buy like blood meal, bone meal, and all of that stuff. And I haven't bought that stuff now in uh, probably been about 2 years. I haven't bought any of that stuff. So wait, I should mix it with regular soil. No, I'm just saying, Miss Coffee, that's the way that I did it. Okay, because when it come in those things, it's ready for when you buy it from them like that. It's ready for you to use. You can mix it with other stuff, but if you already getting soil with the manure mixed inside of it, it's ready for you to put it in the it's ready for you to put it in a pot. I just because I use the chicken poop or whatever, that's just the way that you know, I do it. You can keep going with what it is that you're going. I'm telling you, when I first started out here, I also went and spent $300 on soil. I loaded the whole trailer up. They put a pallet in my inside of my trailer of soil. So and I got so much yard and all of that stuff, and it's like you going out buying soil and stuff versus come out here and get in the dirt. So, will I buy soil again? Probably I will, but I got so much soil from all the beds that I've had before and broke them down. I don't never throw away my soil. Don't throw your soil away because you can put your soil down in a place and let it rest and let it grow some stuff on top of it, and you can continue to use it. Don't throw your soil away. Wait, I should mix it with a regular soil. Okay. Okay, waiting on the potatoes to get eyes. I know that's right. Just sit them in the if you can sit them in a in like a dark place. so it'll mimic like they in so it can mimic as if they're in a that they already in the ground or whatever. Probably within 2 to 3 days, you should go back and you can see already they getting the eyes. You don't need the eyes to be that big. You seen some of the ones that I showed you. The eye was barely present there. They still grow just the same. You don't have to wait for them to get. And I'm telling you from my experience. From my experience. So you can choose to follow it that way, or just wait and sit your potatoes in a dark place and wait for more eyes to come on it. But I'm telling you, I'm that kind of gardener. Like, I get so excited about planting sometimes. I seen sat growing. I seen sat growing stuff. Who is sat? Um, I get so anxious and happy about getting stuff started. So sometimes I get in oh yeah, you can grow in grow bags. Yeah. I done seen a whole lot of and I seen a lot of people at even one point. I was starting to buy those grow bags and grow my stuff in them. And that's when I had everything in the front yard. And my husband was like, you need to go to the you need to go to the backyard with it. I was like, oh, you because when we first moved out here, I ain't interested. I wasn't interested in no yard. I didn't really know. I didn't know anything about being. I've had a garden before where we was before, but that still didn't make me real interested in like property, land, and any of that stuff and understanding. Girl, that's where it's at right there. So, when we first came out here, I was like, I'm just put me some stuff in some pots and everything. And my husband started seeing them pots and everything. He was like, you gotta take it somewhere. So when we come out here, I'm like, I kind of look at it as like I control how everything in the house looks and how to decorate that. That's my zone right there. And he do whatever he want to do out here in the yard. And I kind of looked at it and he was like, yeah, you need to put that stuff in the backyard or whatever. I was like, all right then. And the first thing I did was where that where the garden bed is. That's what the where my garden beds is up there, where the lettuce and all of that stuff is. That stuff I started in pots. It didn't have the garden bed around the sides of that slab. It was just a big slab. And at first I started putting stuff up there. That's when I was using the grow bags, the flower pots, and all of that stuff. And then after a while, I was just like, it ain't enough soil in these pots and stuff for me like I want to. My stuff was getting root bound and everything. So then I went from that. Let me build me a couple of garden beds to that, to that, to that, and then just kept growing from there. To eventually, y'all seen a lot of my growth. It went from that up there, and then I stretched it out to here. I had one out here before where I just did the okra and tomatoes because I wanted to grow them on a bigger scale. And now this year, we came out here and made the garden 3 times the size it was last year. So this garden, what you see out here where I am right now, is 3 times what it is when I started out before. So we growing. We are growing. That's what we supposed to be doing. Grow. That's right, Miss Coffee. Even though you said it trying to talk about the grow bags. That's right, grow. Grow. And Miss Coffee, listen, you made it home, Korean. For me to walk into that live the other day, because that live was about a whole bunch of different things. That live was in a representation of me growing. Because what a lot of people don't know, and I don't know if I explained it before, that four-legged female dog word, y'all know that B word, the famous B word. That word used to do a whole lot to me that would get me out of character. And trust me, I saw you, Miss Coffee. But let me tell you something. When people are connected together, when people are connected together, I'm just gonna tell you how well oiled this thing was, because God knows I wanted to address it, and she was doing a lot. I saw her in a whole lot of different places, and people were letting me know, girl, somebody over here defaming your name here, here, and here, and here. She had been on every social media saying stuff about me, and I knew I hadn't said anything bad to her or whatever. And I knew I wanted to address it because she's slandering my name. And I know that I haven't lied on anybody. So it's like, I need to address this. But part of it was when she started that email off with that B word, ooh, it struck a nerve that day. See, in my life, that word has had too much power over me. It is a word that has got me into a whole bunch of trouble because where I come from, it is a major disrespect for you to call somebody that. So I've never been down with that thing where you got your friend, where your friends call you big, big, and big. I ain't never been down with that. And as a matter of fact, I actually respect people, that want to live their life, and those are the things that you want to do. But I just kindly say to the people that I'm hanging around, listen, I know that's like a term of endearment to you, but I don't want to be called nobody's bitch. I just don't. I don't like it. I always tell my daughters do that, and say that. The only time I'm going to refer to myself in that type of situation, I'm in a place of where it's not a good place. So when she came on there, that was my opportunity of growth, because I knew that there's a spirit in me that won't actually want to get on her. Because if we was face to face, I don't know if I could have controlled myself. But I wanted to know inside of myself, can I still have a conversation with her, being that she done disrespected me so many times. And that's just one of the things I showed y'all. If y'all know the other emails and stuff that she sent to me, it would have been way worse than that. And then, but I wanted to know, had I grown? And I'm gonna tell you, before I clicked the live button to go live, I had already said a prayer over myself, and I said, Lord, don't, you know, allow govern my words. um, Let me see growth in myself when I come on there. Honey, when I hit that live, before I hit the live button, the first thing that I saw was you, Miss Coffee. You had typed the whole entire prayer. So, honey, I was behind the camera before I hit that live button, and I had done fell back and laughing. And I say, look, look at God. See that? See that you got some people around me that is in tune with what I'm doing. Even though you didn't know everything that I'm doing, you didn't even know that that prayer that you had put in the chat was already, we walking in unison. We got the same thing in mind. And you see, I'm not one that I can't say to you that there's times that somebody may not upset me, and I may cuss them all the way to dog hell, but that's not what I want to do. And so, yeah, I seen her coming through and saying her little thing, but I also don't just want to realize all of the different things she's saying, because let me tell you something. The next thing that I saw that came out of that situation. Did you see when Mama Global came up there on the panel, and Mama Global said some things in a powerful, strong voice? And you see what I named that live? That live was named, I'm not gonna deal with your flesh. But that lying spirit, I'ma deal with that. When Mama Global came up there and she spoke, whatever spirit that was there all over Miss Denise, Honey, that thing had to submit. I mean, submit when Mama Global spoke. Now, am I the only one that saw that? I know that's right, Corinne. Nobody's dog. I'm not nobody's dog, and so I don't want to do that. But I wanted to know: did y'all see that spirit was one thing when Mama Global got up there and she spoke the words that she spoke, and she spoke them powerful. I seen that spirit lay down, and after it laid down for a minute, then you see it rewind and it went back right back to where it was. And at that moment, I told that spirit, I said, and you, she said, I needed her there. Girl, I don't need your. When y'all see me most of the time, y'all see Shauna alone by herself. I don't have a lot of people be on my panel. And listen, I'm not saying that I don't want people on my panel. I love talking to people. I love working through different things. We ain't gonna always agree on things, but I want to have conversations with people where we necessarily don't agree. But we can talk about it and learn different things from people or whatever. But for the most part, when y'all see me, there is nobody on the panel except for me. When she said I needed her there. No, honey, I don't need you. I didn't want you to come up here. I came on there to address my part of it. And if you wanted to come up here and be a guest, that's fine and dandy. And I want you to know that still, even though we went there, the things went there with Denise, I still don't hate Denise. She still be in my prayers or whatever because she's been through a lot of things that I've experienced. And one day, hopefully, we'll be able to have a real conversation where something comes out of it. But I believe that was the beginning right there. So um, I don't necessarily see all of the bad that came out of it. I believe that Denise was put in our life, even though we think like we showed up in her thing. Literally, Miss Denise showed up in our life. We wasn't even talking about her. It was not about her. She ended up coming there, and now it's almost like she just there. I think that there's something that they say when two or three are gathered together, there shall I also be. So maybe it's off of the strength of our prayers and everything that a change is gonna come. And if that ain't even what it is, that's what I choose to believe for. We can keep on praying for and keep on moving because you do know that when it ain't the ones of us that's already out here that's right and doing the right thing that we in search of out here. We out here for the ones that's lost and don't know where they going, don't know how to do the things the right way. Um, those are the ones that we should be in search of. Because if you got a room full of people who already know what they doing and they already right standing with God or whatever, uh, what are we doing? So, do I believe we gonna run into some people that we gonna have some strife with or whatever? Um, Absolutely, I believe that. But I also think that God's hand can be shown by the way that we choose to handle those things. So that's kind of like my perspective of letting y'all understand why I did it because I absolutely could have just dodged ball around her, but no, I know there's, in my opinion, I think there's millions of people that have actually saw the way Denise moved, and she want everybody to be blind. And even at one point, she told me, whenever I saw her say that part, and you have to understand too, when she's saying those things, she's not just saying it about a random person. She's actually saying those things about somebody who is alive and she knows she's not telling the truth. So my thing was, is I sat there and I seen you. I was there. I was present. So I'm not gonna walk past something and see that video you invited me to somebody else's interview, and I see you saying those things. Absolutely, I'm gonna say something because that's somebody's child. That's somebody's relative or whatever, and you're out there defaming them knowing that you sat on a panel and you said something different from that. So I just spoke my piece. I didn't even speak really against her because I want her to get her daughter's story out here. As a matter of fact, I think it needs to be heard. What I seen touched my heart, and wow, something's really wrong here. And I don't change my stance on that, but I think Denise takes away a lot of what can be given to her daughter's case because she sabotages it every single time. Um, and I think until she get past that and get some of the help that she need, then this is the place she gonna be stuck in. You all do not understand how many bridges Denise has burnt. I mean, even at one time, Denise had a whole gang that was ready to do some things. I mean, she done. And yeah, and when you don't do things in the way that she wants you to be done, she want them to be done, you can pay severely for it. So, and even her husband at one point was telling her that she was saying some things wrong or whatever, and she was ready to go off on him. We all witnessed that stuff too. So you know what? You know, not to stay on her too much, but I'm just saying, I still, even though people are upset with Denise, I have to be honest and say I still have a place in my heart for her, and um, I can't lie about it. I really do. I really think me and her can have some good conversation. She might cuss me out from here to Sunday, and I think I did well with whatever you know we got up out of that situation. I definitely seen God did in this situation though. The spirit was riding her back, and I didn't care who, and it didn't care who was in the path. You right, spiritual. We done seen that with her a whole bunch of times. I wish her well, but the way she moves has got to change. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with all of that. I think she took her frustration out on you, but she probably crying out for internal help. Savannah, I absolutely believe that. I even at one point I even thought me and her was going to connect because she kept saying that I'm bashing her. I have never done that. Because if you understand where I come from, don't you understand when a person go through the things that I've been through in life, you gonna make 1,001 mistakes, baby, and you ain't got no room to be pointing out everybody else's errors. Can you talk about it? Absolutely, you can. But that don't mean I'm bashing you or no nothing because when you wrong, you wrong. Point blank, period. But I just wanted her to explain to me how I was bashing her because I absolutely know. I've told Denise she can't use the excuse with me that my daughter is dead and all of this her kind of stuff. Denise, you ain't telling me nothing because I've also experienced that too. I had a son, my son passed away. So all of those things that you know about, they didn't take, my son didn't take their own life or no nothing like that right there. But at the end of the day, you cannot use that excuse against me because I've experienced that too. So there's no way I'm gonna beat you down in the ground, or I'm trying to beat you down in the ground because of this situation. um the drinking, very, I listen, when I seen when because every live or whatever we've done with her before, that I've seen her, I ain't never seen her without the cup. And I don't want to be throwing no allegations at her or whatever, but I do think there's liquor in that cup. I don't think she can do without it. I think she what you call a functioning alcoholic. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but that's the way she deal with it. I have that situation in my family, and a lot of people in my family want me to not say that to them. But for me, you can say that you don't have a drinking problem, and I can look at you and say, well, in my opinion, I think you do. So I'm not going to change your mind, and I'm going to let you know you're not going to change my mind. I feel what I feel, and I stand on it. Doesn't mean I'm mad at you. I'm just not going to let you change my mind about how I feel about what I'm seeing in front of me. Nobody can stand in front of me and I see you tie a red ribbon around the tree, and then you there telling somebody you tied a yellow ribbon around the tree. If I saw it with my own eyes, you're not gonna change my mind about it. Nope. See, those the kind of games people play on you when when you're a little kid or whatever. They can get you to change your mind. They can pay you a dime, a quarter. Don't tell this and don't say this and don't say that. You know. But then when you get in your grown state of mind or whatever, and this something that I teach to my sister them and stuff. I tell them all the time. What you seen with your own eyes and heard with your own ears. Don't let nobody come along because they're your friend. I had a friend call me one time. Good morning, Shalissa. Um, yeah, there's a noticeable issue with something. Um, golly, Shalissa, you made me forget what I was about to say just then. um, but yeah, people do be trying to play those games with you. But I always tell my sister them that, if you in a room and you saw something with your own eyes, and then somebody trying to tell you that ain't what you seen, you saw something else. Don't let them play that game with you. Don't let them play that game. And I don't know if y'all seen my sister Shalissa came up there on the thing, and I was slowly but surely whispering to her, sis, Shalissa, don't give it to her. Don't give her the energy. Don't give it to her. And I can honestly say my sister get that from me because when I'm showing up to some place and somebody's challenging me, I'm telling you I've had the spirit of the fight spirit. And I do know that if that's what you did in your younger years, in your older years, you gonna have to know that you have to do something different because fighting does not always solve your issues. And I'm gonna tell you how this worked out this time because I had a fight some months ago. People can hear it right here. It's on my page or whatever. Well, I'm gonna tell you as somebody who's close to the age of 50, girl, fighting don't work for your body like that no more. Cause I'm gonna tell you, in the heat of it, your adrenaline and everything that you got going when you in the midst of it. Yeah, you in full swing of it, and you ready to do any and everything. But honey, when I tell you, when you wake up the next morning after you've been swinging them old bones around and doing the things that you used to do back in the days, there's a price to pay for the aftermath. Yes, Corinne. There is a price, honey. My back already bad too, and I'm around here trying to fight with a 22-year old and everything. But in my mind, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: ain't none of my kids been able to disrespect me in that way. And I got a daughter the same age as this girl. And let me tell you something, girl. Anything I always tell people, don't never think you gonna bring your kids over to my house and gonna be more treated more better than what my kids is. When you come over here to my place, honey, you on my turf over here. And you think you gonna come over here and call me all kind of bees and hoes and tell me how you feel about it, honey? Please, you can get slapped over here, and that's just is what it is. So no, and listen. Still, after y'all seen me go through all of that, I can still have a conversation with that girl. But what I'm gonna tell you is I'm not finna take the disrespect. I'm not gonna do that. No, it's like you can see me mad with somebody. I can still have a conversation with her. As a matter of fact, that same girl that you all know that I got into it with here on the internet, we done got into an argument several times before. That's the family where she comes from, and they think that it's okay that they talk and speak to each other like that and have disrespect for each other all the time. Well, over here we don't rock like that. And I'm not going to accept that from you because that's not what I give to you. But what I will do is every time you rise to the occasion, because I believe in matching energy. I do believe in that. Is like you got this person showing up over here. Um, you show up in that energy, I'm gonna bring my energy right to your level, especially you here where I reside. You're a visitor over here, honey. So no, and I think the last run in that we had, I saw something in her eyes that She knew that I've been very, very nice to her. I've never said anything out the way to her. I always have tried and have conversations with her like I have with my daughters and everything. But I think after those, they say the third time is the charm. I think after round number three, and then nobody ain't show up as of that day. That was after the day after my son went to jail. When she was out there, and see, it has been somebody there to come in between us and break us up all the times before. But honey, she had messed around and came at a time when my husband was knocked out sleep, and then she came here and challenging me after she done sent my son to jail. It was the wrong time. But I think I saw something this last time that told me this girl don't really want it with you, but it's, these young folks get in front of other people, and then they try and, they try and show out and make the other people feel. Um, and the one thing y'all didn't see is she had two other girls that was here with her, and the one girl was opening my gate. Listen, when I tell you I take peace everywhere I go, peace of mind, peace above, and a piece of steel. If you catch my drift, that girl was opening my gate. Hey sister, how you doing, girl? I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to have you in the building. That one of her friends was getting ready to open the gate while we in the midst of this situation. Honey, I turned around with the quickness and I told her, girl, I will end you today. You better close my gate back. Nah, I don't want to deal with no young kids that way, but honey, you don't think you gonna come here and you gonna bang up on me. No, ma'am. I take peace with me. I love peace. I'm a peaceful person. Peace. Now let me leave that situation alone. But I don't know who going through whatever they going through. The devil always show up and try to pull you out of the place that you in. Um, Keep growing, because that's what I'm about doing, and I know situations gonna present themselves. And one thing I always want to know when I'm going through certain situations, and I've been there for a long time, I want something to show up that's going to tell me whether I've grown in that situation or I still need some work in that area. Because certain things have to show up to let you know, oh, I still need some work in that area. So those things show up, and that fight spirit still want to come up in me. Oh Lord, I need some work in. I need some work in that area. Yeah, I need some work. So you know, in that way, you keep on, going to the altar for your own self. Working it out that way. So I understand. I get tested on a regular. Being married to a ooh, Miss Coffee. Girl, I can only imagine. Only imagine. Hey, and in some kind of way, I guarantee you that just because you married to a preacher, then they try to test your gangster all the time, like you won't. Hey, I can only imagine. Yes, I have a little break. Love you too. I love you too, girl. Yeah, no banging on me. I can only imagine though that how you testing, them, um, and at the church, you got them little spirits. Everybody coming to look for somebody in a uniform, and when you say somebody in a uniform, that don't only apply to the police officer, the fireman, or no nothing. A pastor usually be in a uniform too. And you know, and I hate to say it, but it is the God's honest truth. Women can be very, very, very trifling. Very. And I kind of had that attitude of, I see you. I see you. Hmm. Yeah, one of my kids the other day gonna tell me, Mom, I think that lady like your husband. Honey child, I like him. So hopefully there is somebody else who like him. But as long as it's one thing, one or two things, she ain't gonna be able to get. She can let her have the conversation. Let her talk all she wants. She can talk. She can talk. That's all she gonna get. And he better know it, and she better know it too. That's all that matters. The both of them better know. Or is that Miss Coffee? There are some boundaries when it comes to this thing right here. Go ahead and talk if you want to. Yes, I be like, I ain't him, you know. I know that's right. I know they have expectations and think you supposed to be a certain way. No, no, girl, he made that he that between him and God over there. Cause see, I still need some help over here. I can hear it all. I can hear it already, Miss Coffee. I can hear it, honey child. So you better play around with God. He'll give you grace. He might don't get none over here. So but y'all, I came on here to let y'all hear my sprinkling. And then here we go. We having us a conversation over here. And my this hour and 20 minutes of this watering this side of the yard is almost done and over with, and it's looking all nice and moisturized and everything. Let me show y'all the garden, because some of y'all probably ain't seen the garden before, and I can't really see what I'm showing y'all, but hopefully I got the eyes on whatever's going on. Y'all see those squash and zucchini? They all looking pretty and stuff already. Y'all can't see the other stuff over there, but it got tomatoes and all of that good stuff over in that area. But I know those of y'all who wanted to, yet there's garden tours and everything on there. And then growing with Hudson say, girl, you forgot to show us the chickens. I done left the chickens out, so I said on my next round I have to stop y'all at the chicken house so y'all can see the chickens over there chilling and doing what they doing. And they've been putting out the chickens been giving us 18 eggs a day um lately. So we'll see if they gonna stay on that roll. And I can say if I don't get no food from nowhere else, then we can live off some eggs for a couple of weeks. We got food. We got food. So um I hope y'all have a beautiful day today. And doesn't mean that yeah, I got happy for 'em. And God knows, whenever you get ready to come over, some I'll be ready to show you too. Come on, let me show you. And all I be wanting to do is I just be wanting to encourage somebody else, Um, you know, and listen, I feel so good when I encourage somebody else to start growing stuff. I get super duper excited. Like I have like my godmom. TMB, what's up? I have TMB. Oh my goodness. I don't know how you got inside my head on this night before last night. But not just you. You and your wife fell on my mind. Yeah, y'all fell on my mind the other day, and I was thinking of y'all, and I literally said, you've been asking me to do an interview or whatever, and I was thinking, as I was thinking about you all, I was like, I would like to have an interview with the both of you all, because I think, see, now I don't know a whole bunch, but I think you and your wife's relationship and possibly me and my husband's relationship is a lot similar to y'all's relationship. I could be wrong, but we won't know unless we have a meeting of the minds. But yeah, I definitely thought of that as like I actually saw us having a conversation together. So you shared some things with us over on my page and everything, and then I thought about it because I told you too. My husband is a recovering addict. So and my husband has been clean now for 25 years. So, but you know, I know that there's challenges that come along with that. You know, when you out there in those streets, you see a lot of things. You don't trust a lot of people. And, you know, a lot of things my husband used to annoy the hell out of me because he's so adamant about, he ain't budging in the things that he doing. And I can say now, look, you know, those are things in the past, but looking at it now, everything he stood on, he was absolutely right for standing on it. But he didn't like to explain things so we all can understand. Challenge is real with sober. Yeah. So, I just saw that, and if that's something like we want to do, I could see us having good conversation with that. So, when the time is right, I think we'll have those conversations. I like for my husband to share like his stories and stuff with stuff that happened, because like all the stuff that happened back then, like me and him literally can sit around, and the way he be telling some of the stories and stuff sometimes, that junk be so funny. Like I be in the room rolling when he be telling me some of the stuff that happened out there. Even though in the times that it's happening, that crap ain't funny, but there comes a time that when you know you've made it and you've defeated those things, then you can look back at that stuff and laugh at it. So he has an amazing story, but and I even tried to get him to come on YouTube and talk about some of the things that he went through in his life. He said, "No, you do that." And I say, "Well, how you feel if somebody came up and asked a question about it?" He said, "Man, I don't care nothing about none of that." He's like, "You can talk about that." I told him I'm gonna sneak and record him one night while he talking when he telling one of his stories, because I don't think I can tell his stories the way he be telling them. That jump be so funny about what I mean, listen, one of the stories just popped in my mind about this one story that that he was telling me about, but that story could be a little bit extreme, but anyways, when we get into it, we'll get into it. I knew what you mean, TMB. Good morning, LMY. But all this conversation came out of I came out here to let y'all hear my sprinklers going, because that's the what I like to hear, the noise of the sprinklers. And then we ended up in a full blown conversation about some of everything. But I told y'all that's what we do over here. We don't got no one particular conversation. We just having conversation. Thank you all for hitting the like button and being over here, where we are about growing. We about growing in real life. We're about growing in the garden. And I always say this garden that we're growing, and I say we growing because I invite y'all into the garden space with me to see what we growing, and hopefully to encourage you all to grow. Um, I connect what we grow out here in the garden to our actual lives, because this is a representation of how we're growing in life. What's growing out here in this garden as it grows, we also growing along with it. We learning new things. Spending time with ourselves, trying to figure out what is best for us. I have kale seeds, but I don't have no kale plant. And somebody got those seeds for me. I have never planted kale before, and there's only one dish that I've ever eaten kale in before, and that's Let me see if I get it right. Who go to the Olive Garden? There's a soup that they sell. Is it Zupatus Sitscana or something like that? But it's like potatoes, like potato. It's kind of like some kind of potato soup or something that Olive Garden have there. I don't go out to eat that often, so y'all correct me if I'm right. But in that potato soup that they have, I think it had like kale or something in it. I don't grow okay, then there you go, LMY. I'll tell you, I don't even try to play like I know some that I don't really know. But there you go. That's my favorite soup from there. I absolutely love that soup right there. And I actually was scared to try it. I think it had what it got: potatoes and bacon and cheese, kale, and all that good stuff. Honey, if I can learn how to make that, TMB kale gonna be growing in my garden because I love that soup right there. And I was like, "What is the little green thing that's growing in it?" And that's in here, and it was like kale. I was like, I never imagined kale would taste like this right here. So if I can make that, then how you cook kale? You can use kale for like a lettuce or whatever. Can you cook it like collard greens? I got collard greens. That's what I got. Um, so because I ain't never ate it before, I ate some kale cooked like greens from Luby's. Oh, well, okay then, yeah. I got a garden bed that's up there that I'm waiting to finish that garden bed. I'm actually waiting on me to get some more wood chips. You know, everybody ain't quite went into full swing with cutting trees and all of that stuff because it's still cool or whatever. You know, once the heat come in, then everybody be wanting to chop on everything, so it's easy to get wood chips and everything. So I'm waiting on another load of wood chips, and probably when I finish the back part of my garden bed, I'll put some there, or I'll make another place on the ground. But I could tell y'all a story. Anybody ever tried callaloo? Let me see what y'all story is about callaloo, because to me callaloo tastes a little bit like collard greens too. But I'm gonna tell you, I was over to oh, cook. You didn't know you could cook kale? Yep. Yeah, they have it in that soup at yeah, what's the name? But I done definitely seen kale where people put it inside they salads and stuff like that. So, but I have some Jamaican friends, and I go over to their place a lot, and then they love for me to cook for them. I love cooking for them. They like my sister and brother, you know, over there. But one day when I went over there, they was like, Shauna, you want to try some callaloo? I was like, what is that? And he was like, um, she explained a little bit of, you know, what it was or whatever. I didn't ask how it was cooked or whatever, but let me tell you something. I got a real bad gag reflux, and if I don't like the way a food smell or no none of that, you ain't gonna get me to try it. Um, I just if it don't smell like let me tell you like chitlin. I'm actually a person that love to clean chitlins. Now I know you probably ain't never ran into nobody to say no junk like that. I'm telling you, I love to clean chitlins because I like to peel stuff, and you know that. Ooh, just the thought of it in my fingers and peeling it apart is that's that's one of my things right there. I love to clean some chitlins. But let me tell you something. I ain't finna eat no stinking chitlins. Nope. Mm-mm. No. And I guarantee you, if I clean your chitlins, them gonna be the cleanest chitlins that you ever ate. So I'm gonna clean them, then I'm gonna put them on the stove and boil them just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back over them again and rub them again to make sure I got every single thing up off of it. Cause I love to peel, love to peel. But to think I'm finna eat a chitlin, nope, I ain't doing that. No way. Mm-mm. I can't even imagine bringing the spoon to my face to even try it. Nah, I can't do it. Nope. Anything that I don't like the way it smells. But anyways, let me go back to the story. So she was like, it's kind of like a collard green or whatever. So I tried it, and I tried it, and I don't necessarily know how it's cooked. If I would have asked her how it's cooked or whatever, then I would have automatically denied it. But I don't like to be rude, and I think that if you eat somebody's food and you throw up or whatever, I think that's rude. And it may not be to everybody, but If I feel like I may have a reaction or something like that, usually I just turn it down or I don't try it. If I'm gonna try something, I'd rather get what it is that you're trying to offer me and probably put it in like something little and take it home with me and let me try it in the presence of my own home so that you're not offended by, because I got weird taste buds. There's a lot of stuff that I don't eat. Everybody say, well, how you get so big if you don't, there's a whole lot of stuff I don't eat. Hell, I don't know. Probably having all them children. That's what it is. And those of y'all who don't know, I raised 14 children. So I didn't give birth to all of them, but that's how many kids I raised. They my kids, period. But anyway, she gave me the callaloo and I tasted it. And at first I was like, oh, it tastes just like collard green. And then another taste started to come through. And that taste that started to come through was a fish taste. And I was like, it was like in the midst of just chewing it, I was like, is that fish that I taste? And she said, yeah, it has saltfish in it. And I don't know why she said that word because that was like the worst thing she could have said to me. Now, I know that there are several ways saltfish can be put away or whatever, but I'm going to tell you the only way that I've seen saltfish put away was I've seen it hanging before and then like flies flying all over. Yeah, that's just the thing that's in my mind. So when she said the word, oh, it has saltfish in it, all I can imagine was that fish hanging from like a string or something and the flies flying on it. And the next thing I know, I was like, ooh, and I started running towards the bathroom. I get the bathroom door open, and that's as far before the exorcist showed up, and I was doing projectile vomiting. I opened the bathroom door. It's like her shower is straight ahead. Well, in her kids' bathroom, anyways. Shower straight ahead. The first thing the vomit hits is it just wipe her shower curtain out. The whole, the decorative shower curtain. That was done. I threw it up all over that, throw it up inside the bathtub, and then somebody had the seat down on the toilet. So I was thinking, let me turn to the toilet and throw it because it just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And so I was empty. Turned around to the toilet trying to throw up in the toilet, and the lid was down. Threw up all over the toilet trying to get it right. Then the next thing I know, by the time I was able to get the toilet lid open, I was almost finished. When I tell you, you talking about destroyed somebody's bathroom, destroyed. It took me almost 2 hours to clean her bathroom back up. And guess what? That don't work well with me either because I'm not good with throw up. If I smell throw up, it only makes me throw up more. So for about 2 hours, I'm in this bathroom and I'm cleaning up, honey. Now the thought, I'm almost done cleaning up, right? So now the thought is, I got to walk back out here in front of these people, and I done insulted their food by throwing up, eating their food, and now I got to walk out here in front of them because see, they ain't never had that experience with me before. So as I finish cleaning up the bathroom and I take everything to the washing machine and everything, I come back through there, and when I walk around the corner, standing in this one area, all looking at me, and they all bust out laughing when I walk around the corner. I was like, "Please forgive me. I am so sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen." They in there rolling, laughing. They laughing at me because I just had the experience I had, and I'm in there considering they feelings and feeling bad for vomiting and everything. And I was just like, so I went over there to their house the other day. We was going to a game or whatever, and they offered me something. And her husband was like, "Here, try it." And it was something I never tried it before. They made like it looked like mashed potatoes, but it was cauliflower with some other things in it or whatever. And he was just, and I was like, "What is that right there?" And I was like, "Is that mashed potatoes?" She was like, "Nah, they ain't mashed potatoes or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, then never mind. I ain't gonna try it." And her husband was like, Go no, get you some, get you some, and go ahead and try it. I was like, listen. I was like, nope, I'm not finna try that. I said, do you remember what happened the last time I tried something and I ain't like it? He was like, it doesn't matter. I said, yes, it do. It matter to me. I am not trying it. Yeah, his wife understood him. He didn't want to hear. He wanted me to try. No, you ain't gonna never get me like that another time. Give me some on a spoon, put it in a piece of foil paper, and let me take it home and try it in the presence of my own home. So then you don't know, and I can call you back and say, I don't like that. But yeah, I just don't like being like that. You know, to nobody. You know, you gonna like something or you ain't gonna like it. But I just don't like. I just don't like doing that in front of nobody. Oh man, sounds like me, and I hate it when that happens. Yes, I got a bad gag for you. I'm telling you, if somebody smell the wrong way, and I'm smelling that, mm-mm. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of things that I can do, but I don't like it. Like if I can't smell anything, or I done said something in my mind to shift my mind in a different way or whatever, and I can usually be good. But if you get somebody to come along and then they tell you, you smell that, and you've been trying to work on your mind and keep that out of your mind. See, I done been in situations where it's like I done, I'm talking to myself. Give yourself the pep talk. The pep talk. I got this under control. I got this under control. And then you get somebody like your husband that keep on saying, "You smell that? You smell that?" And I'm be like saying to him, "Can you please shut up?" And he just keep on saying, "Ooh, that shit stink. You smell that?" And then before long, after he done said it long enough, he already knows what it's doing to me, right? So now I can no longer tune out that I smell that smell. And now every time I walk into the area or whatever, or getting ready to do what I'm doing, I'm like, I don't need no help. None at all. My mom raised me to never say no. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Um, well, let me say, let me make sure I say, um, let me see. Cause listen, I hate messing up people's name, but I sure want to call. Can I say Danny? Let me see. Cause I think that's the first. That's the first part. Is that an I or an L? I think that's an I. Danny Van. Yeah. Okay. Your mom raised you to never say no. Ooh, that first line right there is enough to start 500 conversations right there, girl. Especially coming from the place that I come from, and not all of them funny. But okay, I can't tell you how many stealthy ways of disposing of food and throwing up on a deal for the sake of being polite. Uh-uh. Yeah, let me tell you something. You never know when you see little kids be doing like this right here, and they trying to hold it in. Honey, that ain't never ever worked for me, and it definitely worked against some people that probably was in front of me or around me or whatever. Cause you only know them cheeks can only blow up so far. They ain't like no balloon. They stretch and stretch and stretch. They only hold so much pressure behind them before they go start spraying like this and start spraying like that water. You see what I'm talking about? Uh, I ain't never been one of them. But no. How did you feel about her? To never say no. Honey child, I'd have had 5,000 napkins up under the table trying to say. I remember I used to play the game that I put food in my mouth and keep going to the bathroom 500 times. So I go in the bathroom and spit it out in the toilet. I just could never bring myself to swallow it. Let me tell you how bad I am. Y'all know the when they do the test when they trying to where they trying to test you for gestational diabetes when you're pregnant. Yes, not you ain't gotta wrap the spoon. Give me a little piece of foil paper and I'll take it home and eat it in the presence of my own home or when I get outside or something somewhere where you ain't got to see me respond to how. Cause I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that I do not eat. I'm a very, very, very picky eater. There's a lot of meats that I don't even eat. There's I'm very, very picky. So now I don't forgot what else I was gonna say. But they ain't gotta wrap the spoon. Just give me a little taste of it and let me go home. Not to food or any not to food or any kind gestures. Yeah. Um, would I like to do the interview this Sunday or Saturday? Um, I think Sunday sounds like a better day for me because Saturday I definitely be trying to be out here in my garden on Saturday, and Saturday is a day that you know I think Sunday. Let's go with Sunday. So, but yeah, I don't, I don't forgot what I was saying. I told you we be having 500 different the more questions and stuff that y'all ask over here, then I'll be going on and on and on. But yeah, I'm not a person that likes to try new things, but I used to put stuff in my mouth that my mama used to try and make me eat. And you weren't allowed to leave the table until you ate your food or whatever. And those still some things that that I still work on right now. I also know that um those kinds of things help you to grow up and feel like you ain't allowed to leave. Um yeah, when you're not allowed to leave food on your plate, and I understand the aspect of um not being wasteful when you're not being I understand that those are the things that parents do to not be wasteful, but also too when you put those kinds of stipulations on your kids to clean their plate, then those stipulations go along with maybe somebody overfills their plate or put too much food on their plate or something. In that aspect, it still makes your kid feel like they need to finish everything that's on the plate, and I can tell you that that's one of the things that I used to feel. I used to be full and still sitting there um trying to eat it or whatever. Um yeah, some of the things that I've had to work on. A much better way to deal. Now I respect my limits. I know that's right. You know your own limitations and work them out that way. Sunday fits you. Your voice sounds like church to me. So pleasant. Well, Danny, this voice has many different voices, and they probably all on here. Sometimes those voices be crying, and sometimes they be laughing, and sometimes those voices be straight cutting up. They be showing out. But I'm glad it sounds like Sunday to you. Sunday fits you. Your voice sounds pleasant. Everybody be saying, "Girl, you need to narrate books and stuff like that." You need to write your own book. I done got that 1,001 times, and nobody even understands how many times. Um, okay, however it is, TMB, it is what it is. I just feel like we gonna have a conversation anyways, whatever it's gonna be. Your place, my place, whichever one, we'll do it. So y'all see it already. TMB Monkey Man We gonna be in a we gonna do an interview coming up this Sunday at some time. We'll figure it out and we'll post about it. And if you can make it, y'all come through and conversate with us. Um, I know that's right. Thank you for being here. Um, but there are so many things that I experienced in childhood, and the first thing that I did do was a lot of that stuff tried to apply it to my kids' life, and then I start to think about it, and I was like, I didn't like that when it was done to me, and it made me change my mind, and um, it made me do things different. So when I say to you, there's people in your life that teach you things. No matter what they teaching you. What you do with it is what'll help you out. Somebody can teach you to do the wrongest thing ever in the book. They still taught you. Now, if you know it's wrong, then you don't go back and do that. But if for every bad thing that's taught to you, there is something good that you can turn that bad thing into a good thing. You just got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. There's a lot of bad things that happen to me. I'm now taking the position in my life. I'm going to take those bad things and I'm going to turn them around and help somebody else get out of the situation that they're in. So then that says to me, what I went through is not in vain. I can take it and I can help somebody else come out of the situation, not be so quiet, not hide the things that happen to them that ain't none of your fault. You didn't have any control of it. You could not be the giant at that time. You know, just look at things in a different way. Let me reposition my sprinkler because we getting good out here. I thought maybe it'd done turn off by now because I do got it on the timer. So I wanted to water one side for an hour and 20 minutes. But I'm telling you, this sprinkler is giving me life. I'm loving the sound of it right now. I see it this morning. I wasn't really coming out here to do anything. We was just gonna listen to the water sprinklers together. We spending the whole morning. And then I don't know when I come out here in this garden, I don't know. And I even got my bunny on for the day. But I usually let me see. Let me show y'all what it's looking like. So far, we was over there on that side. Now we watering this side over here. Say hello to the soursop tree. We gonna have to learn what the benefits of our soursop tree is over there because everybody is so adamant. Girl, you got that soursop tree over there. That thing is amazing. So we gonna figure that out one of these here days. But I just thought it was such a beautiful morning this morning to come out here, and then to hear the sprinklers come on added another level of happiness to me. The simple things. A sprinkler is very very simple. Even my granddaughter be like, "Can I run out in the sprinkler?" Girl, right now ain't the time of the year for you to be running in the sprinkler. You already got a snotty nose. Yeah, we ain't doing the waterworks right now. You gotta wait a little bit more for the spring to come in, girl. Now, why you stuck? But yeah, I hope you all. And thank you. I can. I'm gonna say it again. Thank you all for coming over here and spending your morning with me over here while I just water the garden. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all at work and everything doing what y'all do. And I hope in that you're having an amazing day. And if it ain't been amazing so far, hopefully from this point forward, it will be amazing. Why isn't she turning? Just stuck for no reason. Oh, okay then. You can it don't get no better, baby. Yucky. That's another thing that I like to do. I like to sing, but I don't sing that. I don't sing that much when I come on here. But there is an app that's called Star Maker. I love going over on Star Maker. One night we gonna set up a party to go over on Star Maker, and we gonna party over there. It's just like a karaoke room. I don't know. Do y'all anybody in here like to do karaoke? The simple things sometimes, yes, like watching the stars and you see a shooting star and the fireflies. Yes, yes, those are the simple things. I love when my husband come in, he go outside and he see fireflies flying around, and then he bring us out there to be able to stand in the midst of them. So those very simple things. I was even standing out here thinking the other day, what would it's like if you go outside, and even though it's quiet outside, no kids around or anything, the world is not necessary. The world is not quiet. If you stop and listen, there's the sound of the birds. There's the sound of, I mean, just there's sounds of the world, And I can't imagine living in the silence of none of the birds singing, just the sounds of nature and everything. Like I can imagine if all of that went silent, like what it would be like. But um I love all of those different sounds and everything. I do, and even hogs even my hogs even say good morning to me. It's like, hey, 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 hey. That ain't what he really be saying, but that's the way that's the way I take it. He was saying, hey, 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 pizza man. That's a hey, you the pizza man, electric boogaloo. Um, but that. Listen, Miss Coffee. Good morning, Oreo. Yep, I was walking back in this morning, and he was just saying, "Hey, hey, 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 hey." You know how he be doing, but he was making that noise. That's his good morning to me. Hey, ma, I see you. So, just the sounds of nature and everything. I love those sounds. I actually could come in my backyard and probably just I, don't let me get no ideas, and I be done put a hammock back here and come back here and be going to sleep in the daytime. I'm in the garden, sleep in the garden. That girl out there sleeping in the garden. That would be me. Yes, me and my kids been saying for the longest that we was gonna 'cause we got like the camping tents and stuff like that right there. But if we go camping and stuff, we usually go like to a park or something like that. Um, But we always be saying that we gonna set up a tent back here and a bonfire and stuff, and do a camp out in the backyard or whatever. But we ain't did it yet. We've been saying that for a long time. But what I was asking was, do anybody on here? Is anybody like to do karaoke that's on here? Cause there's a app that I go to, and it's called Star Maker. Love going on there, love singing, love having a room. It's like, it's a good time. You be able to socialize. You can type in the chat and all of that stuff like that with everybody. You can say, oh, I want to hear you sing X, Y, and Z, or we could sing that right there. But I'm like the old school. I'm like an old school person. I like Regina Bell. Um, that's my girl. I call her right off the rip. I like Tamia. Um, I can't even say one thing. I love all kind of music. Even there's some rap music and stuff like that that I love. I love all kinds of music. Um, Music is like my next happy place. Um, I just stumbled upon your live. Your perspective is beautiful and important to share. Connecting with nature is beautiful. Thank you, Electric Boogaloo. I try to, I connecting with nature has definitely. Uh-oh, y'all hear one of our nature sounds just went out the sprinkle. Let me go turn it back on. Um Becoming one with the earth and just playing in the sand and all of that good stuff has been one of the best things that happened to me. You know, it's a place that I can come, and when I'm having the worst of the worst days, I can come out here and I don't have to say a word to anybody, but just coming out here and connecting with nature can change my whole day around. Um, and sometimes coming on here to YouTube is changes my whole day around. Some people know that there's times that I've come on here and God knows I'm having the worst day because I don't want to be crying in front of you all. It's not the worst thing ever, but when you're someone that has been taught that crying is a sign of weakness, what you crying for? You ain't got nothing to cry for. Everything in your life done told you you're not allowed to cry about everything, and so now crying is like an embarrassment. So when the world gets heavy, and trust me, anybody that's raised 14 kids and been through all of the stuff that I've been through, trust me, there's going to be some things that you need to cry about to even get it out of your system. Well, I've never had a chance, I've never had a break in life to even stop and pause and think about all the things that happened to me. I just thought that they magically go away. And we all know those things don't magically go away. There's some work that you have to put in. Sometimes you have to pull those things up and you have to speak about them for you to be able to move on to the next place. And so YouTube has made it possible for me to get some of those things out of my mind and get over the situation that yeah, you shed some tears. You got probably a 5 gallon bucket you need to get rid of on the inside of you right now that you ain't never been able to cry out before. So, um, you know, right, without all of the negativity from people, society, nature itself. So beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I run into some absolutely beautiful people, but every now and then you gotta meet one of those people that you can be they can be like a backside. We'll say that. Well, wait a minute. Who wrote something that is held for review? I never seen that before. Potentially inappropriate messages are held for review. Got it. Okay, then am I allowed to see the message if they held it for review? Who done came in here and said something bad? Somebody said they this message has been held for review. Miss Coffee, what that mean? I ain't never seen that before. They done held the message, so somebody. Oh, you done said something bad, TMB. What you said? Playing in nature is incredibly healing. Never be afraid to feel what you need to feel. Otherwise, it'll boil up until you need to face it. It's brave more than anything. Electric Boogaloo, you coming in here, you just now meeting me, and you would have no clue that that's exactly what I did. I came on here, yes, and it was very embarrassing for me especially when you've been told your whole life you ain't, don't cry. You weak if you doing that or whatever. And so to be able to come on here and cry in front of the whole entire world, not one time, not two times, but then I've had the right people in the right place at the same time telling me the same thing. Don't ever apologize for having to cry. Cry, come on here whenever, and cry whenever it is that you need to cry. There's healing in crying. And so I'm learning that slowly but surely. And so the only time I feel comfortable with crying is when I'm about ready to do somebody in, give them the 1 2. Jules, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, you late, but you here. Yeah, I know that's right. How you doing today? Um, right. If I cry, I'm weak, so I need to stay tough. No, and especially that's what's wrong with a lot of us women. We more, and if that's what you into, a lot of us women, we've been taught to be so rough before we don't know how to be women anymore. We don't know how to bring out the softer side of ourselves. We have to be so tough and rough. And I'm telling you, that's one of the things that I deal with is like, I'm the tough exterior. I'm the person that nobody thinks that I ever need help with anything. Nobody ever thinks that I have problems because I can talk and I can say things and they never hear me cry or whatever. And then when they all of a sudden find out that, yeah, Shauna been over here struggling too, then it's like, what? You struggle? No, I'm human just like you is. I have struggles too. Maybe I'm having keeping them behind the scenes. But yes, there are stories that I done came on here and shared because I've been trying to go to bed for the past 2 or 3 nights, and whatever I got on the inside of me is not allowing me to get sleep. So it's very frustrating. Then it starts this whole crying process, and it's like, it ain't gonna go nowhere until you go and release it. And I'm telling you, the moment that I come on here and speak on YouTube and say those things, of what I'm holding on the inside, it's like I'm free all over again to live life. And so when I get to those moments, I'm coming on here to dump it on out, and then to go back and look at the comments and everything. There are so many people going through the same exact thing that I'm going through, and then before you know it, we all encouraging each other. And ain't that's how it's supposed to be? Each one teach one. We help each other out and all of that type of stuff. Um, it's okay to cry for people. I do it on and off YouTube. Yep. I cried on a live right here. Yes, we all, Jules, we all have over here. I had somebody in here yesterday that was saying that I got them crying. Um, you know, it is what it is. Tears are good, and I think it be washing your face. You know what? It's a good way to clean your face up. Go ahead and shed some tears. They don't last forever. Exactly. We've been programmed to be too strong, but that only breaks people down. It absolutely does. And then when you're in a relationship you're trying to be in a relationship with a man, you so strong, you stronger than he is. See, he trying to be there for you, and you don't know how to show the softer side of yourself because so many people have encouraged you you got to be strong, so strong you don't even understand, or how you don't even know how to walk in your femininity because so many people have taught you that you got to be strong. You got to do both jobs. And see, I was raised by a single mom. So when you raised by a single mom, you go into marriage. I'm a married woman. I went into marriage still rolling like I'm a single like I'm a single parent. Why? Because I was raised by a single mom. It's like I don't know what the man's job is. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing. So like what I saw my mom do, I'm gonna try and do it all. I'm not gonna ask any questions. I don't even know that you're supposed to help me. I just feel like all I know is how to do is what I've been taught to do. So um, um, I hope you got the whole Denise BS taken care of. We Yes, it is taken care. I guess it is. I addressed it the way that I wanted to address it, and I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know if she received us well, but it definitely was taken, and to me, it turned out well because the very thing that she was going around saying that I was lying about, she came on and said it right on my show that I told that she said I was telling the truth. So as long as you know I'm there, and maybe I don't need to think like that, as long as I'm vindicated, because everybody ain't gonna vindicate you. Everybody ain't gonna, you know, tell the truth. They gonna continue to lie on you and make like it's not real. But we finally got her to admit that I hadn't done anything to her. You know, she just was. She's mad and lumping everybody together, and and actually, I spoke up for all of us and said, no, I don't remember. I could have a bad memory or something, but I don't remember any of us bashing you or shitting on your motherhood is the words that she used. And when asked those questions, she couldn't even come up with excuse. If somebody asked me about something they did to me, it ain't gonna take not even a second to start naming off to you some of those things that you did. If I say you offended me by stepping on my toe, when somebody asks me the question, why are you mad at Jules? What did she do to you? Well, for one thing, when she walked past me the other day, she stepped on my toe. I'm not gonna be in the position where I'm saying, um, um, and that's what she did for a very, very long time. She kept saying, and I'm saying, you keep saying that because you don't have anything that you can come up with. None of us, as I remember too, Jules, we all sat up there and we were sharing our struggles, because I even remember you sharing with us the things that you had been through with your kids, and it wasn't a pleasant thing. But for some reason, she figured that us parents that have done wrong ourselves, that we were taking and bashing her. And I know when you in a position like that where you haven't done everything right, there's no way you going. Well, I've seen some people that show up and try and bash other people for the way that they lived our life. But the ones of us that I know I've been around, we take accountability for the things that we do and we grow from those things. But we don't take it and bash somebody else over the head. But do people have questions about the things you did? Absolutely. Ain't that's why we here on social media talking about it? So we can figure it all out and do something different, you know. But yeah, that's true. Or the rest of them let you down. So you learn you have to depend on yourself no matter what, in case things go left. You better say that, Savannah. That's right. You the only one that you can really, really depend on in this whole world, because a lot of things that I've been violated by came via my family. So it's like it have to be you and the man up above walking it out together. Nope, we didn't. I haven't thought about her in like 6 months. All right, I hadn't either, but I told you that she was messaging me on Instagram, which she have been for a long time, and I was advised to block her a long time ago. I just never did. But she was putting out a whole lot of stuff, and then it was like maybe I wasn't doing anything at the moment, and then I seen it, and it was I just for some reason I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, she was over saying that in another live that Courtney was responsible for unaliving her daughter, and I was like, huh, what? I was like, no, and I just wrote, and it was not her video. It was some ladies by the name of the mob the Mob Chronicles or something like that. The Mob Chronicles. It was somebody. It was actually her doing an interview with her, but that's where Denise invited me over there to her platform to um if I had the balls, and I really could have declined because I don't have balls. I don't. I don't have no balls. I probably got some. I got nerves. I got whatever, but I ain't got no balls. So in that aspect, she was right, and she was daring me to um show up without you guys or whatever. And now it's like, no, none of us roll together as a gang, and like we're not a gang or anything like that. We actually don't really roll together. We associate, we network with each other and stuff like that. So none of that. But at the end of it, um we got it all we got it all squared away. In 1 minute she was very good, and then the next minute she went right back to the one place she was, and she ended with telling me If I knew that it was not the truth that she was telling, then I should have just shut my mouth. That's what Denise said. She said I should have just shut up and not had said anything. I say, yeah, that, when I think about what she said, that is true. I could have chosen to shut up. I really could have. But all at the same time, why would I shut up? And at the same time, you're trying to get justice for your daughter, while at the same time you're destroying somebody else's daughter with a lie. And that's the part right there that my heart couldn't rest easy with. I can't, I saw you on a platform. You were in front of, I think I think at least a half a million people have heard her say this all at this point. And I'm seeing it. I was there on the panel with you. I was there a part of that conversation, and you mean to tell me I should have just shut up while you trying to destroy this girl? And a lot of people don't understand, because in this video, Denise is playing all of the videos of Courtney saying the mean things. And I absolutely agree that Courtney said some mean things, but we also know too that prior to Courtney going ham on all of that stuff, she has dealt with Denise saying that she is a iller with a K on the front of it for a long time. Now that girl has sat and dealt with that. And then how long can you as a person sit around and watch somebody just constantly say that you're responsible for unaliving their person before you want to say something to defend yourself? So me seeing that is, and I'm knowing that Denise said this out of her own mouth before. There's video of it. If you just look around on YouTube, there's probably a million other people can tell you that she gives conflicting information. Do I believe her daughter has a story that needs to be out there? Absolutely. The only thing we've been trying to tell Denise for the longest, her and her issues always take away from her daughter's story being able to get out here in this world. She keeps sabotaging it. And you all, I'm gonna talk about this story because I believe it do need some attention, do need to be brought to her story. If you don't know Alea Wilson's story, go and check the story out yourself. We did an interview of it on my page about 6 months ago. There's a lot of talk about the story. And I definitely think it needs to be looked into. And there's a lot of people that tried to work on this case, but it's hard to work with Denise because she has a lot of trauma. She has a lot of issues. She has a lot of healing to do because of, I think she feels guilty because of the way that she raised this girl. She's told us some horrific stories. And I think Denise is banking on that, over on TikTok, when you make videos, they don't necessarily save like to your page where you can go back and watch the lives again. But those things get recorded too sometimes and saved. And so I know that some people still have those stories and everything. And so Denise, they can come back and bite you in the butt after a while. And then that just makes people not want to help you out. So, but I really do think her daughter's story needs to get out there. There's some question. It has been closed down and it has been labeled as a suicide. But what we see in in those photos and things like that is very, very questionable. I can't. I still. It does. Ever since this situation has happened, is like the thought of this, of what all is going on in this case, has not left my mind. So I'm telling you, her daughter's case needs to be looked into, but Denise also needs to learn how. She needs somebody that's going to tell her how to have several seats and just pipe down and stop trying to attack the people that have been helping you. So, other than that, I don't know. Courtney went on yes and answered every question that was asked. I mean every question. I mean them people had so many questions for her. And they was asking. I don't think it was a dry moment in there where the questions was not fine. And that girl stood in the paint and she answered everything after she done been labeled as the things that she's been labeled with. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people done said a lot of mean stuff. People done attacked her left and right because Denise has been out for blood. Absolutely, she has. So, and in that video, Denise was showing those things that Courtney had said a long time ago. And I was telling Denise, you had those recordings prior to you and her sitting on a panel together talking about this situation. You had those videos already, and you still sat there and you said to Courtney you don't think she had anything to do with the unaliving of your daughter. And you and her also had a moment where, like, y'all smile and laugh together. There was an apology and so forth and so on, and you even understood that y'all was on the same team at that point, and now you're back at this place. So, you know, I don't know what that is, but those are some of the issues right there. Well, everyone was talking freely on platforms. People talk freely, absolutely, and you bring your story to the forefront, and people are going to have questions about whatever it is or however it happened or whatever. And Denise get angry about the questions that people questioning the way that she raised herself. And I mean, at a certain point, I even felt like she wanted to mention some of those things what happened. But Denise has given us some horrific parts of the beginning of her daughter's life, because there's a lot of questions about because one of the things that she's saying is her daughter never wanted to take her own life. And the understanding that all of us that are listening, a lot of us have been through traumas and everything. And you can't say that the traumas that we all have been through, that there hasn't been moments that cross your mind to take your own self out. Whenever we say those type of things, and which keeps the conversation going, because you got a lot of people that you sitting in front of. You had a panel of 4 women that are sitting there, and we have all experienced those things that her daughter, Alea, has experienced. And she trying to tell us people that no, you wouldn't have those kinds of feelings. And no, that's not true. You deal with those things, you work through those things. And so it just kept the questions going about that, because Denise doesn't know how to just answer those questions and skate past them and get back to why are we really here? We're really here to talk about Alea Wilson and the injustice that we think has been done in her case, and that somebody else is responsible for what happened to her. She didn't take her own situation. I ain't never seen nobody that's and I really don't know how to say it because I don't, they flag you for the thing, but never seen anybody hung before holding on to a cell phone. Because you would think that, and I really want to bring attention to this, so I can use my live to bring a little bit more attention to it in the right way. But I've never seen somebody that is going to, and I've never seen nobody hung before. But in my mind, I'm thinking that if you are hanging from something, the first thing that your first body's natural reaction is when that tightening around the neck happens, is the first thing you want to do is bring your hand up around and try and free what is hindering your neck area, if you understand what I mean. So what I'm trying to figure out is how then, if a person is in that predicament and they're hanging, how then do you still have a cell phone in your hand after now you're fully gone to another universe or whatever, you're done, you're no longer alive anymore? How is the phone still in your hand? There's a lot of questions. So I want to give it to you all so you understand that there is definitely some investigating need to be done. And they're trying to say to us that she did it herself. I just don't know anybody that would say that you can still hold on to a cell phone in your hand while this is happening to you. So if there is anybody else that can believe that that's just how it's gonna roll, then you have to please do explain to me how you think that can happen. Um How can the only how can she only get upset at you? She ain't only upset at me. She trying to cuss us out as a whole. But the thing is she's trying to hang on to that and saying that we did something dirty to her. And maybe those are her tactics to keep her story going or whatever. I don't know, but it ain't making a whole lot of sense. But I'm telling you, we've seen probably by now we know that there's more than 1 million people that got this story and she's dealt with people. And when I tell you there's people come out the woodworks about the way she dog everybody out who try to help her with this story, which is working against her. How if you getting your story out and you explaining it to everybody and then you take away from what the people that are helping you by saying everybody is being nasty to you or whatever, is like you sabotaging your own healing, if what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense. You're coming from a place of love and understanding. Absolutely. You can even go on the last live that I did on Sunday and you can see there's not one moment up there that I was being disrespectful to Denise or anything. And God knows I could have ate Denise alive because she was saying some really nasty things and she's been to 5 other social media things and she's tagged my channel and everything in it, got people over there thinking that the message that she sent to me, that I actually sent that message to her. And it's just like, no, this is the one time that I'm going to stand up for myself. And I ain't even trying to have no argument. I didn't even have to let her up on my panel, and she actually thought she was going to come and disrespect me there. No, I'm going to respect you, Denise, because I'm trying to see if I'm growing, because that's what I want to do in life. I want to grow. And I think I did a good job of exhibiting that I have grown a little bit, because I'm not too friendly with people that call me a bitch. I don't take that as a term of endearment or none of that there stuff. No. So she's done it several times in my email. She even called me evil, and she even wished death on me before. So I'm like, be careful, Denise. Be careful of who you're talking to, because I haven't done anything wrong to you. But yeah, that's right. She said that. I thought it was all over back then. No, you can definitely see her that she told me that she think if I since even if I knew that she said that I should have just shut my mouth and hadn't and not say anything. While she there and destroy somebody else's life with the things she's saying. She taking it out on y'all, but y'all didn't commit the crime. Nope, we didn't, and we actually trying to help her. We actually over there. You don't even know how many of us people was over there, and we were supporting her, making the story bigger, going on different platforms. We were setting up sole platforms just to get her story out, and then until she came crashing down on. I even had an interview set up to interview Denise. Denise got mad at me because she got into an argument by, I mean, even her husband at times done been in lives and everything, and he been telling her that she giving the wrong information or she's saying the wrong thing. And then she want to go. She snapped on her husband in one of the lives before over on TikTok. With him trying to bring correction to the way that she was giving the information that was wrong. So it's like I don't think there's anybody um that Denise has not attacked. I just don't. I don't think so. So um but y'all didn't commit the crime. No, we sure didn't. We gave her a voice to speak, but she didn't want to hear what we had to say. Nope, she never wanted to hear that. I don't know what really happened to her daughter, but it's really sus. And it absolutely is and needs to be looked at. That I agree with, but I don't believe Courtney had anything to do with it. I don't either. I don't either. I think that Courtney was her like she's her scapegoat. I need somebody to blame. I mean, she didn't even have any contact with her daughter because if I'm not mistaken, I think her daughter had been passed away for what, almost 2 weeks before she found out that she had even passed away. So, no, and just even thinking about it, every now and then I'll call my daughters that don't live around me and let them don't answer the text message. My next text message that I'm gonna send to them hey, if you don't type me something back, or and now at this moment I done text you and you ain't texting me back, I'll let them know. I'll send them a text message. If I don't get a phone call from you within the next 5 minutes, you might have two or three. I don't know. Determine how I feel. I will put an APB out on you. The police gonna be looking for you, and my kids know. And if I say something like that, they know. You may think I'm laughing or whatever, honey. I will call the police and have the state police looking for you. Um, she didn't even know for about a week and a half. I think after her daughter passed away, she found out at the last minute. And then there's some other decisions that she made that you can't even go back and do another autopsy now because she had her cremated and everything. There's a lot of decisions that she made, and just people have questions about them, even though they were done with good intentions. I'm not saying she had bad intentions with what she did. If you bring it to the forefront, people are going to have questions. And all the thing you have to do is you got to calm yourself down to be able to answer those questions so that you can continue to get your story out here, you know, and get to where you're trying to get at. I wish I could have been there for that. Be careful because what goes around comes around. You absolutely right. Her husband contradicted her on a live. Yes, he did. And what she was finna go off on her husband for trying to bring corrections to her. And we all looking at each other like, look, she about ready to cuss her husband out for just trying to correct her on something that somebody else was trying to correct her too, that she said something different from that her husband trying to correct her, and now she got mad at everybody and just cussed the whole lot out. I have to look for this other info. I'm definitely behind. So Alea is supposed to have passed a different way than on the plane, and I didn't get to see her say the mistakes she made as a mom. No, Alea was she was hung. There's pictures of her out here. I don't personally have those pictures. I don't want those pictures, but I definitely have seen the pictures before. It ain't something that I want to look at over and over again. And I actually over on her page, she has the picture posted. Also, you can see the phone in her hand and everything. Just look for Justice for Alea. It's up under her name or whatever, and you can find all of the information. Um, but I'm down to talk about it because I would talk about my own situation. But there's a lot of things that happened to Alea that, and let's just say because it's been put out into the open, one of the things that happened was um she had a boy. Denise had a boyfriend that did some things to Alea. Use your imagination. Think whatever it is that you want to think about it, and then go past it, and then eventually you'll figure out the truth. But her boyfriend did some things to Alea when she was a little girl. They moved out of that place later on. Um, they moved out, if my memory serves me right. And anything that I don't say that is true, I will be willing to apologize for it. But this the way I remember some of the things happening, and this stuff happened over on TikTok or whatever, on TikTok when we was over there rolling hard on TikTok. But she moved out of the house after finding out this guy did the things that he did with her. They moved out, was out on the streets, and some kind of way, a little bit later down the road, she packed the layer up and moved back in the house with this same guy that had done the things to Alea that he did to her. And he did it again. And he not the only one. That was friends of hers that also ended up touching her several times over. So I'm saying to you, if she had all of those instances going on, her daughter definitely had some issues going on the inside of her. And why can I say that? I've been touched by seven, not several. I said seven different men in my lifetime, and I was at the age of 6 when I can remember without a shadow of a doubt, of the first person touching me. If I can remember it, then ain't nobody can tell me that another person on me. Yeah, you can block some of those things out of your head, but if your daughter been expressing to you for the longest and everything, there are several things that she told us, but those are the things that I know she told us that really stuck out. And yes, people have questions about that, and yes, some of those people are going to hear you say that, and they going to get pissed off about that, and you might get cussed out for that because of the mistakes that you made as a parent. But when you learn how to eat it and say, yes, I absolutely made those mistakes. I'm so sorry that I made those mistakes, but that's not what this is about. I'm just being honest about the things that happened to you. And those things that happened to her daughter before is some of the things that Denise is having a hard time dealing with. I'm not here to bash her for it, no nothing, because a lot of things that happened to me, I look at it and say, that was my mom's responsibility to make sure and take care of the thing. Those are some of the things that I say my daddy failed me in those areas. Only thing is now my mom's not here to for me to say or have those conversations and stuff with her. My daddy is. My daddy going through some things right now. I don't care to be there for those things that he going through right now at this moment, because um, I just ain't feeling it. Do I feel guilty about those things sometimes? Absolutely, I do feel guilty for not being there sometimes. But then sometimes I have these places where I just don't care. I care about me than I care about you. I wrote my dad a letter about all the things that happened to me, that he's never acknowledged those things. I have a problem with that. I ain't saying he need to have a problem with it, but I have a problem with it. I'm more concerned today with the things that bother me, not so much of the things that bother anybody else. And that's just being honest. I've considered my whole life thinking about what makes everybody else happy. And honey child, that's been 40 going on 47 years now. Have been happening for 47 years. I'm not going to go in year 48 considering everybody else except for myself. Do I have consideration for others? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. But what I'm coming to now is a balance of where I consider other people. You ain't showing no consideration from me. You probably ain't gonna get me to show you consideration. Just probably not. Where I left off, she was defending herself and said she was a great mother and always with her. And this was before R. Kelly. Ooh, Savannah. Ooh, so that means you followed the story. You've been following this story a little bit, and that's not what she. That no. Yeah, she was always with Alea, but I'm telling you, those things she told us, all of those things were happening to Alea while she was a little girl, and she was privy to the information. She knew that those things was happening, and you know, well, oh yes, and mom let him come back into the house after she knew he said, uh-huh. Well, those are absolutely all the things that I remember too. That. But again, I said if I make a mistake, I'm willing to apologize for it. But I have tend to have a pretty good memory. She got some guilty about something. Now it makes sense. Absolutely, and she lets that guilt get in the way. She have to learn how to release it, because even though you done those things that you do, you can't go back and do anything about them. All you can do about it is ask for forgiveness. And I think it ain't other people that's not allowing her to heal. I think her guilt on the inside of herself, she don't think she deserves forgiveness for any of that. And when I heard her say on the video the other day that she's not the same person anymore, that she takes care of the kids that she have now, well, I don't know how true that is, but hopefully she is doing a lot of things a lot different from what she was doing before. So, cause she got two little ones now. Mine was two, blood family member and a member by marriage. That's his own deal, and definitely made it easier for R. Kelly to get into her heart for what he wanted. Mm, um, the story doesn't have anything. Yeah, this story. No, not this story right here. I said all around, but I'm I'm most sorry that Alea is gone. She was such a treasure. See, you may Savannah, you may be talking about Aaliyah. This is a different person. The Denise that we that we talking about, you have to go back probably like to Sunday where we did a live on here, and it's called on from my page, and then you probably can understand just a little bit more. Was Alea um was from Texas. Um and actually this story goes back go back a while. This is after the R. Kelly situation, because I think Alea has only, what, maybe this happened like 4 years ago, maybe, if it's been that long. I don't quite remember those details, but no, this is not. Yeah, this is not a part of the R. Kelly situation. This is a totally different. This girl's name is Aaliyah Wilson. But yeah, there's Sunday we did the interview with her mom on my panel. She wasn't It wasn't an interview with her. It was just me coming to express my thing, and she showed up to the live. Um but yeah, we go way back with this. There's no way we can go back and show you all the different things that happened, because a lot of this stuff happened, started over on TikTok. Well, for me, it did. It started over on TikTok, and then we ended up coming over on YouTube and talking about it, over there. But when I tell you tons and tons and tons and tons of stories, and lots and lots and lots of people talking about it, shoot, sometimes we would be having panels over there, have 200 and some people inside the live talking about this one thing. And the one thing was, is it didn't start with Denise. We were actually dealing with another lady. And some kind of way Denise eased right on in there, and she was able to take the other lady's shine, and before you know it, her story blew up, if I can remember right. So um okay, I'm sorry, that is who I'm talking about. I'll go I'll go look her up. Yeah, she is a definite different taste. Aaliyah, I know the Aaliyah you talking about. You talking about the singer who died in the airplane crash, but no, this is another girl. There's one video on my page. I know that you can go back and you can hear us doing the interview with the girl Courtney, who she's saying is responsible for her daughter's unaliving. So, there's different ways. Other pages, there's information about it, but you know I hope she gets one day the closure that she needs. Anybody who in that situation and they've lost a child or whatever, you know I think how this story even started out, we was talking about the one story with the lady's son. I think her son was here in Florida somewhere, and they found him in the Walmart parking lot. And something was off from that, and then it turned into something. I mean, we was talking about so many different things, if my memory serves me right. But that's where we started at, and then Aaliyah's story took over um, from the discussion we was having about the other people. But yeah, if I can help in that way by pushing Aaliyah's story forward, you know, that's good also. But yeah, see y'all, I've been on here now for almost 2.5 hours. The conversation has been really good, and I hope that I have encouraged somebody to grow in your garden, grow in life, point blank. Period. Yeah, do that, Savannah. You have been a joy to have to the live, especially you add to the conversation. Yes, Aaliyah was she was a beautiful young lady. Absolutely, she was, and I think her story absolutely deserves to get out here. Yes. So, if any of you all go and, look her story up and dig a little bit more into it, she is absolutely beautiful. So, you know, look into it, and if you got any way of spreading the word, then spread the word and help get Aaliyah's story out here. And now you know a little bit more about Denise. You probably want to look over Denise a little bit, give her some prayers, give her a little bit of grace, and keep it moving. I would encourage you don't to not argue with her, but you know, to each his own. But I thank y'all for coming through and just to listen to the sprinklers that turned into this wonderful conversation. And until next time, um, you know, let me get up from here and move around. I think we done listened to the sprinklers long enough today. She did not do that to herself. Very sad. And I think everybody that sees this story will come to the same conclusion. I don't even understand how the police department closed it down that way or whatever. But we getting a lot of conflicting things. I just wish that we could get to the bottom of whatever happened to her. She's somebody's daughter. Denise is her mother, and I don't blame her for going through the emotions and everything that she going through. Um, I just wish Denise the best, and hopefully she can grow from this place. So, thank you very much. I love you all too, and hopefully we all learn something here together. And so, if I don't see you all for the rest of today, remember to grow, grow, grow. Find something to grow inside your house. Put you some beans in the window. Thank you too, Miss Coffee. You have a wonderful day, and we're gonna be looking for them preparations over there, and I'm gonna be right along with you, learning how to store stuff away. So, um, but I shall talk to you all later, you high class gardeners, for more conversation and more growth. I'll talk to y'all later.